Cricket commentator Richie Benno.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
222 for 2. Because I'm not really I don't play cricket. I don't really know anything about cricket. What position are you at cricket, Hugh, when you play?
I'm a batsman and usually fielded in slips.
This is so unprofessional. Can you do a got him?
Got him. I have most of my impersonations are from Billy Birmingham. Do you know Billy Birmingham?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's Billy Birmingham?
Typical stinking hot day here in India.
We've done so much prep for The Sun, and we'll get onto it. But we derailed an interview just by doing Richie Benno impressions.
Well, it's amazing to me. I've met a man who was named after Richie Benno in England, and I just want to hug your mum and dad. Or was it your dad? Really?
It was Dad. Yeah,
got it.
So the main takeaway is that Hugh Jackman wants to hug your dad. If you can just tell that away from this interview. Hugh, it's great to have you here. I was just looking on your Instagram on the way in to work today. I would say, looking at what you get up to in terms of the promotion for this great movie, you enjoy what you do. You feel blessed to do what you do? It seems like you have a good... Some people seem like a bit of a chore, but you seem to love it, which is good.
No. You mean the promoting bit?
Promoting bit, just anything that's involved in this line of work.
I love it all. No, not all, but I love the filming bit. I love the preparation for it, the rehearsal, and I love the promoting of it. I love traveling. I particularly love being here.
Yep.
And one of the reasons, honestly, why I did this movie, Bush...
I'm not named after anyone in particular. George W.
Bush and what was it?
Bush and Felt.
Bush and Felt.
Bush and Felt.
Honestly, one of the reasons I did it was because I really felt these are conversations that are hard to have, that we need to have in homes, in society in general. So I'm thrilled that you have me on here, and I'm thrilled that we get a chance to talk about it, because I know we're mainly here to have a laugh and entertain people, but there comes a time, even with our best mates, even when you're at the pub having a good bit of a banter, sometimes we need to really find space to talk about things that are really affecting us.
Because men are quite bad, aren't they? We see men are quite bad at talking about stuff like how they feel and everything.
And I've learned so much about it doing this film, and we are bad. We do a lot of banter. It often goes as deep as, "Hey, doing? Yeah, no, good. It's got some struggles at work, but I'm fine. It's fine. Yeah. Everything's fine. Everything good at home. Yeah, no, well, yeah, it's okay. No, we're fine." It goes about that. By the way, I've since learned the word "fine" is the biggest red flag you'll ever hear.
Oh, right, so that's the one to watch out for.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but now that I know it, you watch how often people will say "fine," and the advice I got when I was doing this movie was, if anyone says fine, you just stop everything, just say, "Sit down, what's going on?" And you will always dig under there's something bad going on for them.
We say about how much you enjoy what you do, but we speak about the film. It's got so many different layers. You've got the relationship between a father and a son, divorce, parenting, mental health. You enjoy what you do, but surely this must have been one of the most intense projects you must have worked on.
Yeah, it's intense. Every day was intense. It's dealing with a 17-year-old, my son, who has acute depression. You don't know why. You never really find out why, because often there is no single why. And it's really a film about how it affects everyone around them. And my character is constantly trying to fix things, make it better. I can save my son. I can get him out of this funk. I'll be the one to do it. Yeah. I could act all day long, just us having breakfast and having a bit of a chit-chat or doing whatever. But in the end, I want to do things that move people, make them laugh, make them yell or whatever, or make them cry.
Hugh, stay there. We'll do some more Richie Benno impressions during the song, and then we'll come back and talk some more about The Sun.
It's new music.
I'm still joined by the brilliant Hugh Jackman.
And to talk about your new movie, The Sun, you've played superheroes before, but part of the struggle of parenting in this particular movie, do you think there's something to be said about, like, we put this burden on ourselves as parents of being superheroes as well, and that makes the task harder?
No, and being vulnerable about that. I've learned that. I've changed as a parent from doing this movie. I have a 17-year-old and a 22-year-old, so I think I was guilty of being a bit of the mindset of, don't burden your kids with your problems, or, they want to see and feel strength, that they want to feel safe, like, don't worry, you're the captain of the ship and I know where we're going. But I find that if I say, you know what, guys, even in an argument, I'll go, I don't know. I've never done this before. I've never been a parent before. I don't know what the answer is. It really disarms them. And it can start a real conversation where you're including them. And so you love that kid more than anybody. You actually know that kid.
So there must be a lot of parents who are going to watch this film. There's a lot of parents who will be listening to this interview, and they'll be in the same kind of situation where they don't know what the right thing is to do, and you get this battle between, say, and this is what's borne out in the movie, between medical professionals and what your child is telling you.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing for parents, isn't it? Like the kid says, I'm fine, I don't need this treatment, and the doctors are giving you different advice.
Yeah.
There's a real conflict with that, isn't there?
A huge conflict, and it's okay not to know.
Yeah.
I think that's what the movie's trying to say. You can see both points of view. Like, there's a psychiatric scene where the boy's been admitted into a psychiatric hospital and the doctor's saying, keep the child here. And the son is begging the father, don't abandon me here, I'm fine. No, it was take me out. And you feel the pull and the push, and what do the parents do? My son is begging me to take it. I know you can help me, or the professional, and you don't know what to do, and that's okay.
There's no like training for parents. I remember at school being taught to make a pencil case or make a PE bag for PE with drawstring with my initials on the front. I guess that's the kind of problem.
There's no manual. And there's a million books, and it's funny when you become a parent. I became very much like my father when I became a parent. And my wife used to call me Chris, right? Hello, Chris, because he loved a recipe. Give me a recipe and I'll follow it, right? So I remember I had all these books by my bed, all the classic books, A Baby, What to Do Raising Them, and I'm reading them, and I was like, no, Deb, it says here on page 34, we're meant to da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I remember my mum pulling me aside, and she goes, Hubie, it's wonderful you're reading those books, but I just want you to know, your kid hasn't read them.
That's spot on advice. All right, Hugh, stay right there. We're going to be chatting more about the movie The Sun on the way, and we need to ask you a question about toasted sandwiches. It'll be fun. The brilliant Hugh Jackman talking about his ace new movie The Sun, directed by Florian Zeller.
Hugh, the film called The Sun, the main relationship between you and your son in the film, but obviously it also explores the relationship between your character's father, who you are the son of. And it's an important point, isn't it? We are all shaped by what has gone before us.
You're spot on. It becomes about halfway through the movie. My character goes to see his father.
You're the son.
And for the first half of the movie, it's centered around this boy, so you just assume the boy is the title of the movie. And then all of a sudden, as you said, we're all still children. And whether we like it or not, we carry internal voices from our parents. We carry scars. We carry the wonderful things. All the good things we get. But all of that is carried for our entire life, whether we have children or not. And when you have children, out they come. They come out to play. And you can say to the cows, come home, I will not do this. And before you know it, in an argument, words have come out of your mouth that are exactly the words you heard and hated growing up.
Yeah. It's almost inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be really serious, because I think this is a serious topic, somehow traumas are passed down from generation to generation. And it's so hard. It's like a wildfire goes through. It's really, really hard, no matter how much we consciously try, to put your hands up. And it takes incredible courage to stand up to that wildfire and to say, it stops with me. And it takes help. For me, I'm getting help with a therapist around it, and understanding and reading and listening and humility.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard.
One final thing, bit of a gear change here, Hugh. So we thought, seeing as you were in, we do this thing on the show every Tuesday night called Toasty Tuesday. It's a highbrow show, but you knew that. Basically, every week we take suggestions from home time listeners about what makes a great toasted sandwich, and we try it out. Now, we have a dear mutual friend, the lovely Kiana Settle,
yes,
who was on the other week suggesting a Hawaiian toasted sandwich. It was pretty awful. Scrambled egg and spam was her suggestion. I know.
Oh, she's told me about that one, actually.
So, yeah, we could do it. It was pretty bad. So we thought if there was a Hugh Jackman, toasted sandwich that we could make later on in the week, if you give us a suggestion now, we'll make it for you.
Cheese and chutney.
Cheese and chutney.
Don't get fancy with your toasted sandwich.
Okay.
Keep it basic.
It's got to be a good cheddar, tangy, like strong.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of chutney.
So just chutney-wise, because there's loads of different chutneys out there. They've almost got a bit too fancy with chutneys recently.
They're too fancy. I just grew up. I got English parents, so they bought whatever the one you're going to get at Tesco.
Cathedral City.
What is it, like a fruit chutney? It's done mango.
Oh, sorry, I was still thinking cheddar. Sorry.
He's obsessed with cheese.
Oh, yeah. And the cheddar's got to be sharp.
Okay.
Sharp cheddar cheese.
So we're going to make the Jackman on Thursday. Do you mind us calling it the Jackman?
Please.
Fantastic.
And then I assume it's standard butter on the outside of the bread. Butter on the
100%.
outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted. Hugh Jackman, thank you so much. Brilliant to speak to you. Go and see The Sun.
I love that you are reinventing Taco Tuesday to Toasty Tuesday. Do you know about that in America?
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.